diversity. Thanks to Ruhail and the previous panelists. A very enlightening session we have had already. But this one is all about diversity. It's a bubbling topic these days, and we have got Dr. Tiwari, Dr. Garg, and Dr. Gopalkrishnan out here. I want to just open up this panel. Just let's just talk in terms of why is diversity really significant for engineers in today's global marketplace. We are in this age of generative AI and quantum computing. So many things are happening, and how are these things impacting these tech spaces?
As a city on globally or globally, as a country or globally, we can see that the change of engineering is happening very fastly. Even if I take example for India itself, we are developing in the developing stage, and now we are in the developing stage at the above categories. We are at the urges of getting into the developed side. It will take, undoubtedly, it's going to take some more years. So when we are into the developing stage at the upper side, then the requirements and the solution which are required at the ground zero level, they have been changed. And what I feel, engineers are the problem solvers. And the problem solving that we are going to have in the hands would be quite different. That's why you can see that nowadays, civil is not that kind of civil. It's something has been changed. Materials are already there. But how to enable the things, how to automate the things along with other technologies. Similarly, if you will see that healthcare has boomed up. So challenges has become different. Now, if you will see mechanical, civil, they have been revamped. Devices are being designed in the mechanical assemblies, but now they need to be automated. If I say electrical systems, there we need control system which need to be designed or controlled by your computer science or computer technologies. So dynamics are changing. It's not the same as we heard from the traditional sides. Now it's being changed with more and more collaboration which are required into the diversity that is already in hands to we people. So that's why we can see that diversity has become a necessity for all of us to design certain solutions which are upfront into the era.
Dr. Garg, can you build more upon what Dr. Tiwari said?
I want to start with about the engineering disciplines. Nowadays, we want diversity, and engineering disciplines are coming to only one discipline, that is computer science. This is a first big challenge if we want to implement diversity in the engineering education. All the students, they want only computer science and engineering. It is a big problem. They are not understanding the importance of mechanical engineering. They are not understanding the importance of control systems. They are not understanding the problem of biotechnology and the biomedical instrumentation. So it is a big problem. All the students with computer science and engineering degree, they can't be sustained for long. It is not a sustainable scene that is occurring in our society, especially in India. Secondly, the students, those are coming for computer science, when we teach them first year syllabus, there is physics, chemistry, there is environment science. They think that these subjects are not for them. So some universities has changed the curriculum, and they have cut out the chemistry subject from there. But we should understand as engineer that if we do not study chemistry, we do not understand the material. We ourselves are chemistry. We all are having a chemistry component in us. So it is very important for all the students to understand we need diversity in the field of students thinking. We need diversity in the field of our teachers. The teachers, those are teaching from last 20 years, mechanical engineers, they do not understand the importance of AI and machine learning at now also. At present also, when all the things are driven by AI. Industry 4.0 is also a part of AI. So it is a big challenge for all the students, all the faculty, and all the educational institutions, academia in the field of energy, engineering, that the diversity should become in our mind first. The second is the representation of girl students in engineering is a challenge. Even IITs are not having girls more than 20% in this year also. The counseling, it will not go beyond 21, 22% maximum. In IIMs also, the women ratio is 30%. 50% population of India is are women, and we that represents in engineering we are getting only 20%. This is a big challenge again. This has to be addressed, and this only I want to say for this.
Dr. Gopalkrishnan, how can engineering curricula be designed to be more inclusive and appealing for a very diverse student body? And so how can we cover different fields of engineering, like Dr. Garg said?
Yeah, so one thing is, like, I think the question is more pointed towards bringing in ability diversity, because the engineers are going to solve interdisciplinary problems. So when an engineer is going to solve an interdisciplinary problem, as the IT Delhi director was pointing out, so if we are making them work in complete kind of watertight compartments in silos, like as one of my co-panelists rightly pointed out, that if I think that I'm a mechanical engineer and I don't want to learn anything about data science, then that brings a lot of difficulty. So the first point to make the curriculum is that you need to have enough interdisciplinary components in the curriculum, and I feel actually the national education policy gives us a lot of room for doing that, because you have options for giving minors and you have options for giving specializations. So you can actually, if I can do a mechanical engineering major and I can do a computer science minor, and even I can do a computer science major and a physics, major and a physics minor. So it can not even be within the engineering disciplines, it can even go beyond the engineering discipline. And just to add to that, I also feel that it should not just restrict with respect to the engineering disciplines, because since we have these disruptive technologies like AI, ethics and other aspects become very important. So if I am developing a system, like an AI system, am I considering the bias that the system can have? Am I bringing conscious efforts, whether I am going to put conscious effort to make it unbiased? So there should be cultural diversity, there should be ethnical diversity, racial diversity, and also diversity with respect to society. Are we catering to the problems of the lower strata of the society?
So, building more on the diversity aspect of it with regards to designing AI systems, how are we tackling this in India right now on a, at a college level at the institutes? Because this has been a huge point of contention at Silicon Valley. We've seen executives from Google raise concerns. Jeffrey Hinton, who is the godfather of AI, he left Google as well recently. So, Dr. Tiwari, if you can.
So if I have got it right, like how we are enabling this diversity at our organization?
Yes.
Okay. So, as per panelist words, you have heard few things. Let me start from that point itself, so that you can connect with this part. NEP we heard. Diversity in traditional engineering domains we have heard. So NEP government initiative itself gives us that flexibility to provide required kind of interventions at various disciplines, so that we can make our students ready toward the interest side as per the diversity required for their group, for their professional development. That is first aspect. Then second, as a university, we offer a law also, management also, liberal arts also, psychology also. What I feel, these are the traits which are required very nowadays. It has become very vital and urgent for our engineers to understand the humanity, to understand the sustainability, to understand the psychology of the human being, so that they can design some solutions which are viable enough, which are sustainable enough, which are for the humankind cause. So all has to come together. So that's another part. So how we are enabling it at our university part, we are providing them all that minors with all different schools. Schools have crafted carefully what can be given to the computer science guys. Similarly, law had drafted their buckets, what can be given to CSE guys or engineering guys. So they have come up with their own buckets, and we have kept it open for our students. They can come and choose as per their interest and as per their professional journey they have planned for themselves. So this not only gives them flexibility to design their degree, they also map their courses and credits as per their own professional requirements. So that is their perspective to choose or to draft their degree. But what in other side, like what we gain out of it, we gain a professional which is diverse in nature. As in the previous keynote also we heard, this entire auditorium, it's enabled from so many different perspective technologies. Electrical engineering is there, aesthetically like designing engineering is there, undoubtedly computer science is also there. So an engineer should be given that possibilities that he can inculcate all these kind of options in their own buckets to have a total problem solving approach for their careers. So that in this way we provide that flexibility for learning to our students by choosing and picking by their own interest, and that we keep in mind that what they should be given in the bucket, that should be really industry aligned so that they remain relevant towards the industry side.
Dr. Garg, building on what Dr. Tiwari just said about diversity and different kind of courses being offered by colleges, if you look at some of the Indian origin tech executives abroad, like say someone like Sundar Pichai, he worked in material science at McKinsey before he joined Google. He's got a business degree from Wharton. So there's a wide assortment of things he's done. He was obviously one of the co-inventors of Chrome, the browser. How do you sort of inculcate this? Like today we are talking about making semiconductors in India, AI and all of that stuff. How do you inculcate this kind of culture in your students that they can't be boxed into one fear of engineering?
AICT itself has given some of the emerging domains of engineering. AI is there, AI machine learning is there, data science is there, IoT is there, and IoT is then embedded is there, embedded systems are there, and AICT has also launched a course, has given to the number of private institutions, electronics engineering in design, VLSI design and technology. So every institution, the use of semiconductors or AI, now all the universities, I belong to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam University, and they have implemented the minor degrees in AI also, in IoT also, and EV also, electrical vehicle. All the domains are there that are need of the hours. And what really about the semiconductors, that is the need. Semiconductors are used in India from the electronics itself has started. Although we are not producing the semiconductor, we are not manufacturing the semiconductors, but we were very good at backhands. Backhand front, we were very good. And but only the thing is we were not producing the semiconductors because they are very costly to establish the industry for that. Now India has come up with that, and it is the government goal to achieve that. It is very good for us, and we will, I think we will create the workforce for that. But the students, those should opt that skills, and the skills that we are providing them, that is sufficient to get a good career in semiconductor industry or in a AI industry. This government has also taken quite initiatives to get the student learn. There are multiple channels, online channels are there, NTPL courses are there, the Coursera courses are there, and other platforms are there from where the AI can be learned. All the students, from either they are from civil engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, any engineering, they can learn the AI tools and the IoT concept. IoT is very important for civil engineers also, but the students who are studying the civil engineering, they do not understand the importance of it. It's very, and in the first year course of electronics engineering is sufficient for them to get the complete knowledge of IoT. They can do the projects on it. In my institution, we have an incubation center, innovation center, funded by DST, and the students from all domains are doing good projects. But the number that is, those are involved in innovation is less. I want the 100% students should do that. But unfortunately, only 20-25 students are interested in innovative projects. This is the problem of the, that has to be addressed at our level. As a institution, as a head of the institutions, dean of an institution, we have to address. And with the time, it will take time, but enough support government has given us to establish the innovation centers and incubation centers. The problem will be resolved in next 4 to 5 years, I think so.
Dr. Gopalkrishnan, based on what the panelists are saying, that there are challenges related to communication and understanding on the student level, what do you think would be some of the best practices going forward, and what all the industry stakeholders can do to further promote this diversity and make people understand?
So first thing, I would say that we need to kind of make the students understand that now world is a global village. So just like the semiconductor revolution that we are talking about, it is because of the geopolitical changes that happened. So these geopolitical changes, what it makes or what it brings to what is the result is that I may be here in India, but I may be developing a solution for somebody in Japan or somebody in Australia. So I need to understand their cultural aspects. I need to understand their societal aspects. So first thing, you need to understand that as an engineer, when you are solving a problem, you are no more solving the problem for your local community, you are solving it for the global community, as one of our panelists told earlier. So that is the first point. Second point is, you are not solving any problem that can be solved just using one set of skills. That is not possible. You need to bring whole lot of skills, which starts not only within engineering, it even goes beyond, because for example, if you are bringing a product, then how viable is the product? Because nobody is going to make it into a product unless it is viable. So what is your understanding about the economics of that product? And what is your understanding about the aesthetics of that product? So I may be doing a mechanical engineering, but I need to know aspects of economics. I need to know aesthetical aspects when I am designing something like an automobile. So that is the second aspect. So it not only just limits itself to the engineering disciplines, I say that it goes much beyond. And actually our curriculum, there is a provision for us to do that. So then lastly, I will again emphasize that we need to have professionals with values. So we need to kind of insist that the values should also be part of our curriculum. So we need to tell them that unless if we are training them during their engineering about the values that they need to have as professionals later, we cannot expect them to create systems which are, say, bias-free, which are going to be, which are going to promote equity, inclusivity, etc. So we need to bring in that aspect as well, is what I feel.
In continuation to it, I also suggest that there is a very much requirement of training the trainers first. It is very important if we are going with the emerging technologies. All the faculties we are having in our institution, they should be trained in different emerging technologies. And out of that, the multidisciplinary aspect will come out, because everybody is focusing on the multidisciplinary concept, and the students should design a product on a multidisciplinary level. We can make the group of students from mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, and computer engineering to devise a product. But if a student could think himself in different domain of engineering, then it will also make a quite change. And the faculty is the major contributor in it. If the faculties are trained in different domains of emerging areas, then only the student will start learning it. It is very important for her.
I was just getting to this point. It's open to all three of you. How can we are talking about training the faculty, but how can we address unconscious biases in the engineering faculty and staff, so that to create a more inclusive learning environment as well, because that's also a huge part of the problem.
So, inclusivity is vital nowadays. Whatsoever we are doing, we have to include our faculty. We have to make faculty a part of it. Transparent communication, what's happening in the industry. If possible, put them in a part of industry meets also. So that's my measure. Generally, I do take for my faculties. Whenever industry people comes, they do their recruitment process. I try to get that session done for my faculty so that they can get the right feedbacks. And along with that feedbacks, they have that discussion in the sense that what's going on in the industry. So my faculty can correlate with that, what's going on to the industry. So that is the first fire to the fuel in their mind, that they have to learn something new, which is broader than their own spectrum of learning. So that is first part. Then how to enable that thing to in the faculty members. To enable that part, you know that they are the full-time professors. They are teaching their job is to teach, and they will spend their time from 9 to 5 to do teaching, research, and all that part. Then how to groom themselves, how to enhance their skill set. For that sake, Coursera, Infosys Springboard, there are so many portals. And I'm happy to see that last 1 year, from my organizational side, it's 250% rise in the certification done from my faculty through these portals, which shows that the kind of emergence we have shown to them to nurture themselves beyond their portfolios of learning in the computer science. They have gone beyond it, they have understood it, and they have done very clearly in the certification side. So now I can say that my faculties, they have understood the dynamics of industry, agility that are required for the diversity in the engineering side. They have understood it. Once it will go into their mind, then they will act on to it. So my here point to say is make them inclusion into all such sportive discussions which we are going to have that with the industry people, so that they should also feel the emergence for their career, for their right job, and for the upcoming time also. So that grid need to be designed or need to be developed within the faculty so that they can come up with time. And I'm not afraid to say that the things which I learned at my stage of education, they are not right now. So that's emergence I felt. I groomed myself, I learned, I upgraded myself. How so? Because I came to know about the dynamics of the industries. Same thing I try to provide to my faculties and let them take their conscious effort. I'm not behind them. They are going to upgrade them by themselves. Only doing this thing, or it has worked for me. They have learned multiple things, then they are putting that knowledge into the classrooms, which is helping my students and their placement perspectives also.
Again, it is a point of last panel, the faculty crunch, I think so. And a very good discussion was that. I want to say that it is again depend upon the self-motivation of the faculty. And if the faculty is ready to take the challenge to learn new things, it will be better for them. Unfortunately, all the faculty that we recruit are not interested in this area, and it will not happen also, because if you see it is a old thought and a management point that all the faculty, all the employees of an organization are not working for the welfare of the organization. Only 20 to 30% faculty are employees are dedicated for an organization. So teaching, again, teach for teaching, not all the faculty would be taking the efforts. We have to motivate them, and we have regular motivation from industry persons, from the industry academia should be called for the presentation for the faculty only, for the faculty development only. That will make the faculty, and there are also sessions, workshop sessions to experiential learning for the faculty also, sessions for experiential learning that will help the institute in a better way.
Dr. Gopalkrishnan.
Yeah, to answer your question on unconscious bias of the faculty, I would say that something like, for example, again, I will go back to one of the points mentioned in the previous panel, the connect with the faculty and the students that happen in the very first year. Suppose if a student is coming from a particular medium of instruction which is not English, if it is a vernacular medium, or if a student is coming from a rural area than an urban area wherein the student is not able to communicate very freely or coming from a different school. So whether the faculty is able to understand the problems of such students, and especially again whether the faculty themselves are not having biases like say so-called core engineering is more masculine and the CS may be more feminine, so you do not, like how do you see the female students in a mechanical engineering class? So, and how do you treat them maybe in a workshop? So these are the points when we become unconsciously, we will be biased. It may not be a conscious effort from the faculty. So how to mitigate that is to develop one-on-one connect with the student and to understand their problem from the very beginning. So that's what I would say to mitigate this unconscious bias. We need to understand that we do have such biases. Just to acknowledge it is the first step. And once we acknowledge, then we need to see that we have to kind of work upon it and then we need to remove it.
Would this also involve some retraining of the teaching staff as well? Some workshops they have to be part of?
I will say it is more than retraining. It is more about, am I understanding about my students? Like, am I able to connect with my students more than, like, as somebody pointed out beautifully, like, rather than being a sage on a stage, am I going to be one amongst them? Then can I understand their problems? Like, when I teach something, do I get the feedback that whether they are really understanding? So somebody may be very good at math, but that student may not be able to communicate his answer because of his communication, lack of communication skills rather. So am I able to understand that? So it is more about, I would say it is more about commitment and focus of the faculty rather than training them. Training may help in some way, but it is more about conscious effort from the faculty.
Another area which is part of diversity only, but it's a gap, at least in India. We see a lot of these tech companies talk about accessibility, and it's actually driven a lot, some of these features they release, driven by staff that has disabilities. And how are we kind of tackling students with disabilities in context of engineering?
Unfortunately, the students coming to engineering with disability are very few. And frankly speaking, today was the AK2 examination. Only one student I got there. He was standing there. One student was there with physical disability. So what is happening? It is not due to the institutions or due to the faculty. The participation of the student with disability is not occurring in engineering. In IITs also, the number is very less. 1 or 2 cases comes. It is not. What is the reason? I don't know, but there are very less number. I got in my 18 years of career as director, I got one student whose eyes were vision was very low, and only he can view the direct vision. That case was come to me, and in that we used to give him the seat in the front of the classroom so that he can see the blackboard directly. These very few cases are there, and what is the reason behind it? I cannot say. It is not an area of my domain. I cannot say why it is happening. It may be a social problem, or it is the lack of confidence in the disabled person that whether he will be able to do it or not.
Okay, it's been a very enlightening conversation. So I'll have the last question. How can universities and institutions have international collaborations and exchange programs which can sort of contribute to more kinds of diversity, be it in terms of diverse types of courses being done by people, diverse fields of engineering, diversity in terms of inclusivity to everyone, this one.
So exchanges, MOUs with foreign universities, that's the need of the time itself. Having that diversity that is required. Our students, they would be our alumni, they will be professional in some time, and the geographical boundaries are not the boundaries for them. They can go across globe to do any kind of professional activities they want. So benchmarking curriculum, having that MOUs with the foreign institutes, with some elite organizations, that's the need of time. We should try to provide all the possible learning options to our students, which I believe we provide that diversity to our students by making collaboration with industry, by making that collaboration with our foreign universities. Because what I have seen in last 4 or 5 years, even our government has also seen that part. Hybrid learning has come into the play, which is there in our country from government perspectives now, government regulations now. But outside India, it's already their business. Many of them are learning from online portals. Faculties do take class in very big pools. They conduct certain classes, they keep it open for all kind of batches, whether you have opted for it or not. You can come and attend that class. So these kind of environments we should try to provide to our students so that they should not feel owed, or they should feel inclusive when they go outside of India, or they work anything globally. Because we know that as Indian competent people, we are really working very well in the outsourcing the solutions. Like as an outsourced resource, we design solution for MNCs. So that kind of culture we should also know. That kind of technology our students should also know. So that's our part to provide that inclusivity of that diversity into our curriculum and in our actions.
Actually speaking, the MOUs with foreign universities seems to be a very good concept, but for institutions like us, it is not a factual one. The reason behind it, the students, those are coming to our colleges, are not of that level of they do not have that much of the paying capacity that we can send them to USA, Canada, or something like that companies. I have signed a MOU with a university in Russia, but for that also, I do not, when I float the notice for that, how many students want to go for a 2 months training or 1 month training there, I do not get any participant for it. And I need students of 50 students for that internship. So from total student strength, we do not get that much of students. So it is a good concept, but at present in India, I am facing a problem for that. I cannot got a student of that much who can pay for that, and it is very difficult for a private institutions to pay for the students in the fees we are taking from the students. So it is very difficult for us. The concept is good, but online concept may come maybe regenerated, or can be generated, or it can be effectively implemented, but again there will be some challenges about the linguistic language challenges, and the students coming to our colleges are different economical backgrounds and different English and Hindi speaking languages. It will be a challenge.
Dr. Gopalkrishnan, last final thoughts.
Yeah, just to make my response very quick, so I know that I am standing between you and lunch. So my primary response here is just add to one dimension, a different dimension to what we have been discussing. So the international collaboration that we have, we should also think of the international students coming to India and getting trained. For example, Amrita has a flagship program called Live in Labs, wherein people go to villages and learn and provide technology solutions. So many of the Ivy League university students do visit us, and they are part of that. So I say that like the international exchange also helps in that way for them to understand, for the West to understand our problems and also to provide solutions. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everyone. This has been a really insightful session. On to the